Wayfair's Labor Day clearance is on now. Right now at Wayfair, you can get up to 70% off everything home. Shop Wayfair's Labor Day clearance now through September 7th at wayfair.ca.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Our next story is about a young man sitting right in front of me who I just told his dad. So, Michael, Jack, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too.
I told your dad who you look like, but I'm sure you don't know who this guy is. Would he know, Michael?
No way.
Okay. You look like a young man, well, he's not so young anymore, called Pete Sampras, who used to be one of the best tennis players in the world. You don't know who that is, right?
No, I don't play tennis.
Now you have to look it up when you get home. Okay. Dad, you're here with your son. He's 13 years old, and I saw the word, and I thought to myself, that's not the kind of thing you think of for a child. The word is stroke. What happened?
So when Jack was about 5 or 6 months old, we realized he wasn't moving his left arm. And so his doctor recommended that we go investigate it at Children's, and turns out he had a stroke when he was during the pregnancy. So after realizing he had a stroke, he developed epilepsy, and so we came to Children's, and they kind of helped us think through the course of actions to take.
So when you say helped you through it, I mean, that's a pretty serious diagnosis, obviously, for a child at that stage in life. One doesn't think, as I said, that that's something that happens. What was the next level of treatment? What did they say, and what happened next?
So we tried for a while to take medication to stop the epilepsy, but considering that during the stroke he had some damage to the right side of his brain, they recommended what was called a hemispherectomy, which is basically disconnecting the right side of his brain where the damage was and where the epilepsy was. So pretty big operation. Took 11 hours.
Wow. And at the end of it all, you have a healthy 13-year-old sitting here.
Yep.
I can't even. What was going through? I mean, that's 11 hours of surgery. What was going through your mind at that time? What had they told you going in?
So this is obviously anything that has to do with the brain is always kind of risky, but I think as they explained to us the long-term benefits of this operation versus just continuing on with kind of the epilepsy medicine, it was a pretty easy decision, even though it was pretty scary.
All right, so let me ask you, Jack, you're finding about this, I mean, you're 13 years old, this was going on, this happened when you were very, very young. Were you scared at some point?
I was scared. I was a little bit.
Yeah?
During that, but I was really in the moment. I didn't really thought about it. So yeah, it's now I'm 13 years old. I do a lot of physio. I'm doing and that's a lot for me. I have to say. I'm swimming. I can do a lot, but it's not just for people with disabilities. I'm one of the only child in this club, and it's super. I can really integrate the group really well. We adapt the stroke, all that, but it's I have to work 2 times or 3 times, a little bit more. So yeah.
So it's a challenge.
Yes, it is.
So I would ask Dad, you're seeing him obviously ready for that challenge. He wants to do these things, which in and of itself must be gratifying.
Yeah, it's fun, and I get to do a lot of things with him, and it's... when this first happened, we weren't sure he was going to walk. We weren't sure he was going to talk. Now we can't get him to stop talking. So now we're
wait. It's going to get worse. Just so you know.
Yeah, so we're super happy.
Yeah, and you have to come. I mean, you're still coming to the Children's. There's follow-up treatments here. What's the sort of prognosis now?
Yeah, so now we're kind of at a phase where he's doing a lot of physio and a lot of ergo. So day to day, we don't have too many visits at the Children's, but he has once a year he'll come and do his annual checkup. So we're never far away, but
right.
Luckily we're at a phase now where it's less intense in terms of the meetings.
One of the things we talk about on a day like today at a place like the Children's, and we talking to a couple just a minute ago that had twins, and talking about how it's become family here for them almost, right? You're here, you get to meet the doctors and the nurses, and then in your case you're back here over and over. Has it been that way for you as well? People, you've developed relationships here. It's like coming back home in a sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's always, when you're in a stressful situation, you're scared. You really rely on the people around you, and the hospital here has great staff, great people, and they really make you feel at home during a really difficult time.
You want to tell people why it's important on a day like today to realize this is the kind of great stuff that happens here at the Children's, and why it's important to make sure that you donate whatever you can just so this kind of work can continue?
Yeah, I mean, a little donation goes a long way. I mean, in the beginning, we didn't know how Jack's life was going to turn out, but thankfully, people's generosity, let Jack have kind of a great life, and so we're thankful for all the past donations, and hopefully, people will continue the donations.
Jack, I would just ask you: do you have an idea what you want to do when you get older?
I don't really know yet, but I think I want to be something, maybe actor. Now I really love history, science, but I think I'm watching a lot of series. I like theater, so I don't have a lot of time with my swimming now, but in the long term, I would really like that, yeah.
Well, listen, we wish you all the best, and thank you guys both for being here today. It's a great story. It's nice to meet you both. Michael, Jack, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.